Hello, my name is Sara Sladkova, and this is my video presentation for Bio 282 Lab titled Bioluminescence in Sharks. The news article used in this presentation is titled Largest Glowing Shark Species Discovered in New Zealand, written by the New York Times, and the primary literature article used in this news article is titled Bioluminescence of the Largest Luminous Vertebrae, the Kite-fin Shark, Dalatias leachi. First Insights and Comparative Aspects. In the article written by the New York Times, the author discusses the discovery of the largest bioluminescent vertebrae found on land or sea, the kite-fin shark, off the coast of New Zealand. These sharks were spectacular because they had the largest surface area of skin that was bioluminescent in any creature found to date. The article discusses how researchers discovered that the organs that produce light in the sharks are not controlled by their nervous system, like in many other bioluminescent organisms. Chemical tests conducted on the sharks showed that the light was actually regulated by the hormone melatonin. This article briefly mentions that melatonin activates bioluminescence, while other hormones turn it off. However, there are more hormones that contribute to this process rather than just melatonin. The article then goes on to briefly describe what exactly bioluminescence is, stating that bioluminescence is a biochemical reaction that relies on luciferins, small molecules that react with protons called luciferases, to produce light. The article concludes with the statement that although there is much new and exciting research, such as this occurring, the underlying biochemistry of the shark's hormonal on-off switch remains unknown. Overall, the news story briefly touches upon the general aspects of the study and explains some of the biology behind the bioluminescence of the sharks. The primary literature article, the article on which the New York Times article was based off of, was much more detailed and informative than the news article. After summarizing the article as a whole in the abstract, the author right away began to explain the biology behind bioluminescence in much greater detail. It describes bioluminescence as living light, which occurs through a biochemical reaction, the oxidation of a substrate, a luciferin, by an enzyme, the luciferase, or through a stabilized complex called photoprotein. It also described luminescence as being able to occur due to thousands of photophores located within the epidermis. This article also describes and names the various hormones besides just melatonin that contribute to the control of light emissions in the sharks. In the main experiment conducted in this research, scientists removed patches of skin from the sharks to examine how the different concentrations of melatonin, otherwise referred to as MT, affected the different hormones that played a part in light emission control. Through this research, scientists discovered that different families of bioluminescent sharks, which are the dalatids and the etmopterids, control their bioluminescence in an identical way through the use of the MT and the alpha MSH and ACTH hormones, showing that they seem to have been co-opted during evolution from the regulation of skin pigment movements. This is one of the figures shown used in the primary literature article, and it shows the amount of photophores in the various parts of the shark. This information is shown in the graph at the bottom of the page, where it is possible to visually see the levels of photophores in each individual part of the shark. The image of the shark in the top left-hand corner with the different parts labeled is also helpful, because the reader gets a labeled picture of where on the shark's body the various amounts of photophores are located. So, did the news article accurately or inaccurately represent the information in the primary literature article? Overall, the news article did correctly represent the information presented in the primary literature article because it accurately summarized the experiment conducted on the sharks. It also described the main hormone responsible for the control of bioluminescence, melatonin, and the functions inside the shark's body. The news article also briefly but accurately describes how bioluminescence is a biochemical reaction and the specific behind this biochemical reaction. Since this is a news article, it does not go too much in depth about all the findings of the study, since there are so many components that were mentioned and observed in the primary literature article that were not touched upon by the news article, such as the evolutionary implications this hormonally controlled bioluminescence has. Overall, the news article did a good job portraying the overall results of the primary literature article in a clear and concise way that anyone reading it would be able to understand. Thank you for watching.